Okay, I have some things here. I just got a new welding table. I want to make a second battery tray for that green truck right there. So we're gonna move the table that's behind that green truck all the way right here. And we're gonna set the welders up on top of it, and then we're gonna hopefully make something with it. So here we go. I got all the heavy stuff moved out of the way. I'm gonna go get a trash can and pick up all the trash and then sweep all of this out, and then we'll move the table in. Okay, all the trash is picked up. All the stuff I can't really sweep up, so we'll get the broom and we'll sweep up what we have left. All right, all cleaned up. So we're gonna get the tractor and a chain and we'll move that table and then we'll be good. Not really 100% sure how it was set up at the shop. I know that this was not used as a welding table. It was used as a, like a transmission rebuilding table. But I mean, it's pretty solid. Kind of happy. It's kind of rusted, so I got some PB Blast. We're gonna try to spray it down, try to wipe off all that surface rust. Looks way better, and now it smells like PB Blast. So none of the rust is really gone. Just wiped off the surface rust. Someday when I have 10 or 15 extra hours laying around, I'll come sand the whole thing and maybe put some linseed oil or something on it to keep it fresh. But definitely want to put a vise here. Definitely want to bolt this top to the actual bottom piece because it's not in any way connected right now. And I think I would like to cut part of this bottom piece open and make some doors, put some shelves in there or something maybe. Because right now it's basically just like a big sink. There's just nothing in there at all. So, but this is far enough for today. I'm gonna put the welders up on there, and then we're gonna start making ourselves a battery tray. Actually out of part of the table. This is a shelf that was in the actual sink portion, and we're gonna take some measurements, cut some pieces off, and weld some shit together. So here we go. All right, here's what we're working with. Here's the old battery tray for the old battery. I may just try to replace that one for now with a new one, but I eventually want to put another one here. And I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna mount it. I think these might come in handy. I think if it sits, you know, right about how that one is, just right here, that's gonna be ideal. All right, here we are. We have our things. I have a cutoff wheel with probably like 1 or 2 cuts left on it. Got a nice wire wheel to clean it up. I have our battery we're going to use as a reference size, and I have our stock here. The battery is 6 3/4 by 10 inches here. So I'm going to make a cut, measure here about 10 inches, and then we'll see what happens. Don't forget to wear safety glasses. Any fan of Norm Abrams would know. I guess that just broke. I just tried to pull it off. I think the other piece is still stuck to my ear. Yeah, so I might try to fix that. Anyway, here we are. Looking like a block of steel. So I think we're gonna measure out, well, I'm not sure quite how long the stock is. We'll measure how long the stock is. We only wanted about 7 inches of 6 3/4 this here, but we're gonna do about 7 inches, have a little bit of extra wiggle room. But I wanna take this edge here and flip it over because I really like this ridge. It's a nice tall ridge, a nice fold. You know, I don't think I can reproduce that as neatly with a vise and a hammer, or even an anvil. So I'm probably gonna cut a couple inches out of the middle here, and then take that piece and flip it over, and then just weld it right down the middle. I was unable to repair my safety glasses, so I'm just wearing them. More of like an eye patch on my left eye and actually a single safety glasses on my right side, but I don't have another pair right now. I'm gonna probably run these over to the bench grinder and clean them up a little bit, but it looks pretty good. Let's see if we can actually fit the battery in there. Yeah, it looks really good. So we don't really have a lot of extra overhang, but that's no big deal. I'm gonna hit them with the wire wheel, So they'll actually take a weld, and then we're probably gonna give this welding table its first spin and see how we do. So here we go, wire wheel. All right, just had to clean them up a little bit. We're gonna have to clean them up again. I don't like that gap now that I see it. I'm gonna have to machine that down a little bit. I am by no means seeking perfection here, nor do we have any kind of precision measurement or cutting. So that's gonna be probably. Turns out I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know who would have suspected such a thing. I never would have. There's now one solid piece of steel. Some pretty porous welds. But I don't have any gas. I wanted to try the copper core wire instead of the flux core wire, or the solid copper wire rather than the flux core. And I don't know, it's hard to say. But we'll get the flap disc put on the grinder, and then we'll go ahead and grind them smooth both sides, and we'll see if it's actually going to hold together or not. All right, it is no longer really all that flat. It ended up warped. I don't know which set of welds did it, but those are ground pretty much all the way down, probably far enough for me. Good enough for government work kind of thing. So I think what we'll do, we're gonna stick with a battery this size. We're gonna find one that has the same measurements and has a little lip right here. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a little tab that comes off of here. And then we'll take that piece of spare steel we have and make a hook shape that's, an inch or two long. And then it can sit in here, boop, and then you can bolt it down until it's snug, and then it'll snugly hold on to the battery and keep it from running away. So let's go cut a 4-inch piece off the other piece, and then we'll see what happens. All right, so now we'll center this up. So one of these sits here, and then the other one will basically sit just on top of it here, and we'll have a slot cut in it, so it can either go, all the way in or just a little bit of the way in. And then it can be bolted down. So I think that's gonna work. I'm gonna wire wheel the outside of this, do some measurements, figure out the right spot, boom, clamp it on there, and then we'll weld it in. By way of incredibly high precision guesswork, we're deciding that that is centered well enough and more or less sitting flat. work pretty well. Those welds are not the greatest. The one on the other side actually came out, I think, pretty decent. Yeah, I mean, not the prettiest weld in the world, but it looks decent. So I'm probably gonna clean up this bracket a little bit, get all the edges taken off, and take it over the drill press and drill a hole in it. And then take this over the drill press once it's cooled off a little bit, drill a hole, tap it, and probably just do it with one bolt because I'm lazy. So, okay, I used the world's dullest drill bit to drill this one out a little bit larger. This one here is just the right size to tap for 1/4 inch -20 threads, which happen to be a bolt size that I have sitting around. That's that right there. So it should be a little loose in there, which is good. Give us a little wiggle room to play around with it. I'm gonna tap that, and then we'll come back and see what happens. And I probably would get a shorter bolt, and I probably would get a bolt that has a hex on it instead of a Phillips head, but you can see that battery is not going anywhere. Thanks for watching. I'm trying to make just some stupid videos. I don't really want to edit them super intensely. I don't really want to spend a lot of time doing them. I just want to document what I'm doing because I think it's fun. That's pretty much it. Go out there and make some stuff. See you guys next time.